Hello Leeds United fans, I hope you're all doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and some exciting news, it has to be said. So we've all been a little bit worried about the midfield dilemma, haven't we, going into this international break? What on earth is going to happen when it comes to Kouyaté and Ethan Ampadu, and the balance in that midfield has been a question that many fans are deliberating over. Now, why is that? Well, the obvious question here, and the obvious answer really is, well, how are Leeds United going to be able to break up someone like a Joe Bellingham, a Callum O'Hare, someone of the Dele Bashiru who's going to be playing for Watford, potentially in that central midfield role, without any midfield defensive presence for United? Well, we've spoken about Tanaka, we've spoken about Joe Rothwell primarily picking up that role, but what we saw with Jude Bellingham and what we spoke about in the preview for that game was him being able to get behind our midfield with relative ease. Now, it's always pretty obvious as well for me that Joe Rothwell and Tanaka will be able to deal with this to a certain level, but you cannot rely on them to be able to do that for the next 20, potentially 21, 22 games. Yes, we know with Ethan Ampadu and Kouyaté, they are out not for weeks, but they are out for months. That is a real problem for Leeds United within this period, so we need to address it. And when you're looking at the market as well, it has to be said, there are some good free deals to be done there. And one name has cropped up, which we're going to speak about today. Now, the Yorkshire Evening Post has released, and it's been murmured on a few of the forums as well, that Cheikhou Kouyaté, previously of West Ham United and previously of Nottingham Forest, is the name that apparently could be the next man on the hit list for Leeds United. Now, at 34, Cheikhou Kouyaté remains a strong candidate for Leeds United as a defensive midfielder. During his time at Nottingham Forest, Kouyaté earned around 50 grand a week and showcased his value as a physical experienced presence. While his experiences also were limited due to injury and competition, when fit, he contributed with ball-winning ability, aerial dominance and defensive cover. Now, I think what we do know with someone like Cheikhou Kouyaté is it might be difficult to get him fit. This was the whole problem at Nottingham Forest with the defensive midfielder, but when fit, he will be an asset, the 100%. He's extremely leggy, very tall. I think he's about 6'3", and he's going to give Leeds a little bit more when it comes to that aerial presence as well, inside our own box and maybe attacking them, which Leeds have found so difficult with about 150 million corners not taken on. Now, the wage thing, as we know, is a little bit of a problem. 50 grand a week is what he was earning at Nottingham Forest. 50 grand a week is what we're paying Manor Solomon at this moment in time, and he's injured. What Leeds United won't want is something similar with Cheikhou Kouyaté coming in, but do I think they'll be paying anywhere near 50 grand a week for him? Absolutely not. But it's going to pose the question, how much are they going to be paying him per week if he was to be brought in? I've always thought with Kouyaté that he's very good in transition, defensively and offensively, but he also gives you that keyword that we've always spoken about with Leeds United. It's felt over the years. It's versatility. He gives it when it comes to a centre-back, which he can 100% play. He's obviously done that for West Ham United, but obviously in that defensive midfield region as well. He's a really, really good pickup, and I can't imagine it's just Leeds after his signature. Defensive nous and just general experience as well. Being able to see out a game with someone like Cheikhou Kouyaté, who has hundreds of games under his belt, I think is going to be key for Leeds United as well. He's an experienced body who, when vying for promotion, is going to be critical with this running. Daniel Farke spoke of experience being lacking towards the back end of the season. Someone like Cheikhou Kouyaté could bring that in abundance. Now, at Nottingham Forest, Cheikhou Kouyaté was primarily used as a defensive midfielder, offering physical presence, experience, and obviously that versatility we've spoken about. He provided valuable depth during Forest's return to the Premier League, though his appearances were somewhat limited by injuries we've already spoken about and competition for places, which is, Nottingham Forest bringing in 150 million players in that promotion season. When fit, he did contribute effectively, as I've mentioned, with the aerial duels, but providing defensive cover. And he was and is that useful squad member. And if you're having that at Premier League level, it's only going to be good at Championship level as well. Now, as well with Kouyaté, it's not just his athleticism and physicality and versatility, which is going to be key here. For me, a lot of it is just being in the game and being able to use all of those games that he has played to slow the game down, to be intelligent in certain situations, to play on the referee, to incorporate gamesmanship, all of which sometimes Leeds United have lacked in the last few years, I've felt. This is a guy who was captain in Senegal. This guy is definitely someone who has injury concerns, as we've mentioned several times on this. But when you've captained Senegal, you've captained your country, and you are played in the Premier League for as many years as he has. You've got international experience at tournaments. That's only going to be beneficial for Leeds, especially in the second tier of English football. Now, I think in a Daniel Farke system, his ability to read the game, his interception level, which at Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest and West Ham has been extremely good, him being able to almost break up play as well and be that sort of ever-present guy in that midfield is only going to be a huge advantage. And when Leeds are all about controlling play under Daniel Farke, someone like Cheikhou Kouyaté being in there, it's perfect, man. The consideration, when we're looking at this holistically, in conclusion, his wage that he was on at Nottingham Forest, his age, 34 years as of right now. Now I am 31, so I am not hammering him for his age. You know, that is still young in my book. And his experience are all things that we need to take into consideration here. But I just believe with the defensive depth, the sort of leadership qualities and how he'd fit into a Daniel Farke system, even if he's to come off the bench and slow the game down or add legs and add height and add presence in both boxes, I just think this is a no-brainer. And if Leeds can afford it in this window, I just think someone like Cheikhou Kouyaté is a really, really smart signing, of which I think, as I've mentioned previously on here, many clubs would look at. But guys, let me know what you think. Cheikhou Kouyaté, would he be a signing you'd go for? You're probably looking at 35 grand a week, maybe. He was on 50 grand a week at Forest not long ago. Now, Leeds, there's a few rumours online saying that apparently he's trained and all this sort of stuff with Leeds. I don't know how true that is, to be honest with you. But what would you think on Cheikhou Kouyaté? Would he, don't just think to yourself, yeah, okay, it's a signing, let's get him in. Do you think he'd work at Leeds United? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. Really interested to hear what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, head on over to the Patreon for bonus content, podcasts, all that sort of stuff. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you in a bit.